is May 20th. Welcome to Lofty May Vlogs. My name is Tracy and I'm the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. And yes, we have the float house behind us today. It is another absolutely gorgeous day in the Vancouver area. Today, I did something wonderful. I pulled out my flip-flops and I am so ready to wear these until hopefully October. I hope that wherever you are having a gorgeous day and that you are ready to visit for a little while. Today we will be tackling another task in the loft. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. And of course we will sit down, have some crafty chat and have a beverage together and take in some of the beautiful nature. The swallows are flying across the river behind me, and there's one right just up there. Camera's not facing that way. There's not a whole lot of action on the river right now other than the swallows are having a good fly right now. So let's take a few moments, breathe in those beautiful bird sounds, and then we'll go inside and get up to today's task. It's now time for just a little bit of a relax before we go upstairs, and I have a couple of crafts to share with you, and of course it is time for a lovely beverage. Today I am drinking out of what I call my goth Tinkerbell mug, and this was a lovely gift from my sister-in-law, and we haven't used this one on the vlogs or the podcast in quite some time, and I'm trying to think back to the last time I did drink out of this mug, and it may very well have been when we were in Toronto. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know it has been a while. And today I am just drinking extra strong Marks & Spencer, which is always fantastic. A little bit of caffeine helps to set my day straight. So for today, it is, as I mentioned, another beautiful one, and I think we should cheer to a beautiful and relaxing weekend. Cheers to that. And if it's a Monday or a Tuesday, whatever day you're watching this, just a beautiful and relaxing, whatever day it is, fill in the blank. Cheers to that. It took me a while to settle last night, but once I did get a little bit of work done on two of my projects. After I finished editing yesterday's vlog, I did a tiny bit of work on this just to finish a section that I wanted to get done, and I got that done. This is my lovely mystery project, and instead of opening this bag, which I am sure everything will then just pop out, I will pop in a photograph of the yarns that I've used. I've used a mixture of Miss Bab's Yummy 2-ply toes, and those are the bright mini colors, the rainbow colors. I have also used Nora George yarns in a colorway called Afterglow, and it is a BFL. It is speckled with all of the rainbow colors. It is wonderful. And I've also used Hedgerow yarns in the merino silk. I think it's called Fluff, and holding that double with all of the colors. So this is a super squishy project, and as you can tell, it is definitely filling this bag up, and I'm not sure how much longer it will fit in this bag, but I'm ready to see how we can do it. I have two more minis to wind up. I have the purple and then the bright hot pink, the magenta, and I am slowly getting through this project, but I'm now about 65 to 70% done, and oh my goodness, when this mystery project is released, I know I'm going to love it. I think you will too. But until then, it remains a mystery. If you know Nancy Drew, you can put her on the case if you want, but she's upstairs in the drawer, so she's not going to help you too much. The other project that I worked on last night is living in my lovely Little Bird Little Bobbins bag, and such a fun project. And again, this is another mystery knit, although you do know, if you've tuned in already this month, that this is the second pattern from the Handmade Sock Society Season 5. So this is the test knit for pattern 2. And last night, Greg and I were watching TV, so I pulled out my light and I was using this to help me so that I could see as I was knitting away. So that is a surprise for me that was popped in there. Now I do have some good news. I was having a lovely DM chat with Maya of the Wool Barn yesterday. I was telling her how much I'm enjoying knitting with this plush sock. And this is an 85% merino and 15% nylon blend. And the stitch definition is amazing and it's knitting up beautifully. I'm absolutely loving using the plush sock, or just plush sock. And so I had noticed when I was on Ravelry that plush sock has been discontinued. And when I mentioned that I was sad that it had been discontinued, Maya said, well, actually, it's not that it's been discontinued, it's just been renamed. So this base is still available, and I believe she calls it soft sock. So it's the 85% merino, 15% nylon blend, and it is a dream to knit with. So if you are ever buying something from the Wool Barn, oh, this base is lovely. Most of the things that I think are in the shop right now are the cashmere sock, which is the base that Helen and the other test knitters are using for this beautiful pattern. But I didn't have the color I wanted, which was a light blue in the cashmere sock. I'm not sure if I have any cashmere sock or not in my stash. I may not, but I do have some beautiful Wool Barn up there. I decided that I wanted to use this mist colorway, and I'm really glad that I have. It is knitting up absolutely beautifully. This pattern is going to be released on June 1st. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to podcast through the month. I'll vlog, not pop. I'm going to vlog through the month, not podcast. Slightly different things. And on June 1st, I would normally have had a regular podcast, but since we've been checking in every single day and I've been chattering about the knitting, unless all the mystery projects are released that I have hiding around the house and in bags and all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to have a full-on podcast on June 1st. I will do another vlog, and in that vlog I am going to share this project because June 1st is release date and it's a Thursday, and that will be something fun to do. And yes, I won't have enough material for a full podcast, so that will then mean we will end off this vlog series June 1st. We'll do a full reveal of the loft. We'll do a full reveal of the second pattern of the Handmade Sock Society. It'll be a big June celebration, and oh, we'll have to get the celebrating mice involved. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, I am going to finish up my tea in my Gothic Tinkerbell mug, and then we're going to head upstairs and do today's task, and then I'm hoping that I'll be able to catch a little bit of nature on the river. Otherwise, we're just going to watch the grasses blow and listen to the beautiful birds in the tree. So let's drink a little bit more of our beverage, and then we'll head upstairs to do the work. You are probably hoping that we are going to start putting yarn into the bench that I'm sitting on, but we're not going to do that today. I do have to say I am absolutely loving reading your comments and seeing your guesses on how many skeins of yarn can fit in here. Now my big question was, is that a skein of yarn on its own, or is that in those bags? So we will definitely need to figure out how many skeins of yarn fit in here. So keep those guesses coming. I think probably I'd like to start counting and figuring out and putting the yarn in this bin. I'm thinking on Monday. Tomorrow we're gonna do a fluffy thing because it's Sunday and we've been invited out for a potluck, so I don't want to take on too much in the task of the loft tomorrow, but I think maybe Monday. So keep those guesses coming as to how many skeins of yarn you think can fit in the cubby section of this bench. And I'm thinking skeins of yarn in Ziploc bags, but with as much of that air pushed out of those bags as possible. But yes, I am absolutely loving seeing your guesses. And I've seen high guesses, I've seen low guesses, and I myself am very curious as to how many skeins of yarn will fit in here. Today's task is actually going to be a very boring one, but something that needs to be done, and that is me going through these and figuring out what I need to keep, what I don't, and if I do keep it, where it should go, and if I don't, well, we know it goes in probably recycling because most of this is paper. This one's easy. This is my stylus, and I should probably put this downstairs because I use my iPad down there a lot. So there's one. And then I also have some very pretty Canadian postage stamps. So I should put those where I will use them. Speaking of postage, I went to the post office last Saturday to drop off a parcel with a package for my sister. And it was my sister's birthday yesterday. And I sent her the shadow box socks, my test knit for that one. And so she phoned me this morning to say that she got them, and she celebrated her birthday yesterday by going bowling, and she wore them when she went bowling. So she really said she said she really liked them and that they fit her really nicely. So that was nice to hear, and nice to know that they have arrived at their destination. Anyway, I am going to work on this. I should probably get my glasses, and at the end we should see this, hopefully, if not empty, pretty much empty. And it might be good actually to put these stamps in the drawer. I just have to remember they're there though. It is always lovely to receive greeting cards, but there are two camps. Some people keep all the greeting cards. I have now gotten into the point where I put them out, I let them display their message to me, and then after a while, for the most part, I do end up putting them in the recycle bin. There have been a few very, very special ones that I have kept and put away, but for the most part, they express their love and message to me, and they've done their job. I can't keep everything, even though I know as collectors, we always want to. It's always fun when you keep empty envelopes. No point of those, and they're easy to get rid of. Oh my goodness. I have something from 2009 in here. That definitely needs to be shredded. Today's task was actually a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. And the bin is now empty, except for I have put those stamps in that drawer, and I will pop this over in the computer area to put different papers. I do have a stack of things that are easy recycle. I have a stack of things that need to be shredded, and one of my neighbors has a shredder, so I will see if I can take them down to their place and shred this little pile. And then I have 3 things that I need to figure out. One is just an instruction thing, and then the other 2 are just papers that I either need to figure out where I put them. So not terrible. And then one of those pieces wasn't even mine, it was Isaac's. So I will pass that along to him for him to decide what to do with. Anyway, that is the task for today. And I had this box of envelopes. In fact, what I will do is pop that in there so it is easy to find. And for now, I'm just gonna put it back on top of the printer and deal with those other pieces. So I know it was a really simple task today, but it's a weekend and sometimes you need to have those simple tasks. I've actually just popped it into the window for now so that we can use the printer as we need to. And yes, I should probably put it on my desk, but my desk looks so nice and clear right now that I'm not quite ready to put another thing on there yet. We still have another 11 days to get this space cleared up and figure out the homes. I know I don't want it in the window, but I do know I need to use the printer this weekend, so I don't want to be having to move that little thing back and forth over and over again. Anyway, I am going to take these papers downstairs and do what needs to be done with them all. And I think for today, I know it was a really simple task, but we are done. And that means that I can spend the rest of Saturday. I've got to go grocery shopping. I'm making a trifle for the potluck tomorrow. So we've also got to go to the dairy, and it's going to be a busy rest of the day. So I knew I needed to take on something that was small, but that needed to be done. And clearing that little cubby out was a simple yet important thing to do. Speaking of cubbies, keep those guesses coming. I am so excited to start putting that yarn into that space, and I think that'll really help start making the craft space look a little bit more complete. So I will see you tomorrow, and I am wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you next time when we visit. Bye. My attempt to capture nature earlier in the day did not go so well. Unfortunately, trying to catch swallows on camera is hard. However, I have just popped outside and there seems to be a plethora of little ducklings. This mama duckling here, or this mama duck, has quite a few little babies. I thought at first she just had the one, and then they just kept coming. So this looks like it might be a family of maybe 8 to 10 ducklings, and they're just jumping at the reeds right now. You can see that the tide is quite a bit higher than it has been other times that I've filmed. But maybe what we'll do is we can go up high and see if we can count them. There are a lot of little ducklings. How lovely. I think there's more than 8. I really do. There might even be 12. Now we'll go up high and see if we can look down and see them a little bit better. This is how they get lost when you see one off on its own. But down there, let's see if I can count them. They're just going all over the place. Definitely 10, 11, 12. think 11, and Mama. So it's good that the swallow footage didn't work out, because otherwise I wouldn't have caught all these little sweeties. My favorite time of the day is when the British Airways plane comes in, and it is just flying into IVR right now. There it goes. That and squirmy little ducklings have made my evening. My original intention today was to deal with the migration of craft things that have made it into the sitting area. But I also know I need to make a trifle and a few other things. It will get done. One of the things that will need to move is the box with the Madeline Tosh yarns. I do want to bring those over for Monday when we do the yarn count. But for now, why do today what you can do in a couple of days from now?